Uh, hey guys, it's Raven here, and even though I'm doing starting to do a bit more Dragon Ball content and that, uh, like I've watched this video before, but I just wanted to re-watch it and put my thoughts on it. This is called GT Goku is a better character than Super Goku, which I agree. It's by Great Expectations 787. So yeah, let's get into it.
So because you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you're a very open-minded person and you're here to just hear what I have to say before you run down in the comment sections and lambaste me and just start arguing with me over your opinion, because again, this is my opinion and I'm going to share it with you guys. So, as I have put in the title and the thumbnail, Dragon Ball GT Goku is far better than Dragon Ball Super Goku. Now,
I actually agree with this wholeheartedly because, I think GT actually gets a lot of things correct in the show. Like, for me, how can I put it? I know this is gonna be, offending people where it's like, oh, well, you just are, Super and shit because, oh, it's like, I like Super. Super actually, if it wasn't for Super, I wouldn't have been brought back to Dragon Ball. So yeah, and I say this with you know confidence in that Dragon Ball GT is a perfect continuation of Z than Super is. I think one of my friends or something said that oh, GT is a fun continuation and Super is a monetized continuation. Like Super was basically just for basically just the money and shit, to keep the whole Dragon Ball shtick going. Which, yeah, if you kind of think about it, and yeah, technically true and shit. Because, like, if you go back, rewatch GT and then Super, the tones for both shows are very different compared to each other. The characters, the settings, the stakes, all very different. And it's so blatantly obvious that anyone who just going, yeah, but GT is non-canon, so therefore by default it's dog shit. It's like, okay, but like that point's invalid when you know the whole argument is GT has a whole separate tone shift compared to Super. That's it. And I fucking hate how a lot of people go, GT is non-canon, so okay, but well, I hate to tell you, but in Super they pulled in the whole plot shit of multiple timelines. Separate parallel worlds, and why is it GT can't be a parallel universe or something? So technically, it would be a fucking technically canon to the multiverse of Dragon Ball, not just the universe and the timeline. It's basically this is how I see it. You have Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. Then we have the Super branch, right? The end of Z episode, and then the GT branch, right? That's how I see it. And then you have in between the Z shit, and that is all the movies, because Toriyama says, oh, the movies take place in their own continuities. Therefore, it's literally their own continuities. GT, so Dragon Ball is a whole multiverse of various different timelines. I mean, the whole future Trunks shit is, oh, Trunks comes from a different timeline where Goku died from the heart virus and shit. So why isn't there a timeline where instead of, Beerus waking up and shit and all the godly key and shit, Goku went past his Saiyan limits and became Super Saiyan 4 and shit? Why is it we can't accept that type of shit? I know it might be convoluted, but that is how I choose to see it. it just annoys me that people just go, oh, well, GT's not canon, so, like, cool argument, bro, but you said jack shit. Like, alright, continue on with the video.
Now, when I say better, I'm not talking about strength, I'm not talking about power, I'm not talking about transformations. I mean the character's overall arc is far better.
Yeah, me and my friend, okay. Yeah, I know I keep pausing the video a lot, but, you know, get used to it anyway. Me and my friend always talk about, like, when we're playing Xenoverse 2 and that. Yes, I still play Xenoverse 2, oh my god. We always talk about like characters in that and who our favorite characters. And my favorite characters are always from GT because uh it kind of sucks because I grew up with I didn't grow up with Dragon Ball, right? Didn't grow up with it coming out. I was born 2000, so way after GT ended and before Dragon Ball Z Kai, thank fuck. Because uh what's funny is, as a kid, I always used to get up with my cousins, my two older cousins, and we would watch Cartoon Network, which would air Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. And later on, like, we got all Dragon Ball toys and shit and that. My cousins actually had, like, DVD sets for Dragon Ball Z and GT. You guys remember those? CDs and shit? But yeah, yeah, I grew up with, I basically grew up with GT, so it holds a special place in my heart for me. So yeah, I think GT does a lot of justice for the character arcs. Like, instead of just like, whereas Super kind of resets the character arcs, like, oh, you know, Z Z Goku is basically just his own person that now. You know, he's a martial arts master. He's wise, and he wants to basically live his life and train like students and that. That's why he takes on Oob. And Super resets Goku to, oh, I'm a Saiyan and I love fighting. Like, that's literally it. Like, the whole character arc and that, like the completed character arc and shit, is gone. Like, I'm pretty sure that Super Goku is just worse than like I the best I can describe it is that a character assassinated Goku so far back that he doesn't even represent Z Goku. Hell, even Vegeta falls under this character. Like, I like GT Vegeta. He's an awesome character. But like, Super Vegeta is just, oh, I'm arrogant and I need to best Goku, whereas GT Vegeta was, oh, I'm not trying to best Goku anymore. I'm just doing whatever because that's my life now and shit. I can train, sure, but you know, my whole shtick isn't just, oh, I need to best Goku every fucking second I need to. I mean, the only one thing he was like, I mean, what was it, after the Baby Saga where Goku got Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta was just like challenging Goku on that bridge. And Goku was just like, yo, I'm actually, like, before we fight, can we eat and shit? I'm hungry. And Vegeta's like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go eat. Like, he doesn't just be like, no, shut up, Kakarot. Let's fight here right now to see who's the better. He's just like, alright, cool. Let's go eat then. We can do this another day. Like, he does not give a shit about the rivalry anymore. Even when Omega Shenron was just like threatening the planet, GT Vegeta says, why does it slip my mind now? He's like, I am a Saiyan prince, but I call the Earth my home. Something along those lines. Like, he calls Earth home and that. Whereas Super Vegeta wouldn't do that type of shit. Sure, he has a family and he's like, oh, I need to do this for my family and shit. You're like, cool. Like, there's some character motivation in that there. But GT Vegeta was just like, nah, bro, you ain't fucking with Earth. Bro, Earth is my home now. Like, everyone on it, my people. Fuck you. Like, he was willing to throw down with the strongest being in the universe at that point with Omega Shenron. And fucking Super Vegeta wasn't like that. He was just, oh, I need to protect my family and shit. But then later on, still try and rival Goku and shit instead of being a family man. I'm not sure about Gohan. I mean, he becomes a scholar and shit, which, cool in that. But they kind of tried to do that for Gohan in Super, where, yes, he becomes a scholar in that, though there is times where, he gets to transform and fight and shit. I like the whole little bit of, like, Gohan becoming a movie star, and, like, the fight goes from, oh, fun and shit to, oh shit, this is actually serious. I need to actually protect the Earth and family and shit now. Like, that's cool. That's a little thing I like about Super Gohan. GT Gohan is just living life as a teacher and shit, basically. I mean, you rarely get to see Gohan. I think the most you get to see him is, like, some parts in... You get to see him at the start of GT, some parts in the Baby Saga where he does get possessed by Baby, some parts in... I think it's in the, like, Overworld where he's fighting old villains and shit in the Super 17 arc, and he does fight in his gi in that with the Z Fighters in the Shadow Dragons arc, like near the end when they're battling Omega Shenron. But yeah, like I'm ranting on and shit, but I like GT. It's awesome. It goes from, oh, these characters have arcs, in Z, to, oh, this is what the characters are doing after completing their arcs. And look how good it is. And Super just resets them to the point where they're not really the same characters from Z. Like, that's my whole argument right there. You can disagree with me on that. I don't really care, but, that's just my thoughts on it.
Than that of Dragon Ball Super. And I only need one reason, just one, to prove to you that Goku in Dragon Ball GT is a better character than Dragon Ball Super Goku. So do you guys remember when Goku and Beerus were fighting each other, when Goku first got Super Saiyan God, and their blows were so powerful that it started to break apart the universe? When Goku decided back in the Cell Saga that it would be better for him to stay dead because Gohan could protect the Earth now and they don't need him anymore. Now I bring up these moments because these moments are what define Goku as a character, except for the Dragon Ball Super moment when him and Beerus were fighting. That I brought up for a very specific reason. At the end of GT, what did Goku ultimately decide? He decided it's better for him to leave Earth because wherever he goes, there are always going to be people who challenge him and put the Earth in danger. And he would much rather the Earth live free and peacefully than constantly be under the threat of annihilation.
Okay, so I hate to be this type of person, but there is kind of one, like, it's a tiny issue, but I want to address it. So Goku wanted to, when he died and that, he's like, I'm going to stay in the afterlife because everywhere, like, anytime I'm on Earth and that, like, strong people seek me out. So if I'm dead, then, the Earth will be protected. No one will try and look for me and shit. But coincidentally, like, and this is literally by pure coincidence, right? Because you have, like, oh, Raditz came to Earth looking for Goku. Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth looking for the Dragon Balls and, like, knew Goku beat Raditz. The others went, like, Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan went to Planet Namek. Goku had to go after being healed. Goku met Frieza, beat Frieza. Frieza came to Earth looking for Goku. Then the androids were made to kill Goku because Goku blew up the Red Ribbon Army. And Cell was made to absorb the androids and basically destroy the world and shit. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna just go with that narrative and that. And, like, Cell didn't really seek out Goku. He was just like, oh, before all of you, I kill all of you, like, let's hold a tournament for shits and giggles, basically. Like, yeah, Cell didn't really, like, seek out Goku on that, but he was willing to murder Goku on the Earth. So, yeah. And it would be funny if they brought Cell back and like he met up with Goku and he's like, "Yeah, I would like to kill you, but where the hell is your son? Like, I want to slap him across the head and then kill him because he killed me. You, you Goku, I will kill you second. Don't worry about that." Like, I would love that like little thing for Cell. That'd actually be funny. But yeah, and then coincidentally, Babidi came to Earth because I think that's where he hid Majin Buu, and Babidi was only on Earth to resurrect Majin Buu. And Goku, that same day when the tournament was being held, because I think in the afterlife he knew about it, and then he wanted to come back for a day to like fight in the tournament and shit. And coincidentally, Barbidi's men were also at the tournament. So Barbidi is like the only exception who didn't actively seek out Goku in Z to try and kill him. Yeah, I think that's my only nitpick for this. Because you can't really say like, oh, all the strong like I'm not faulting Great Expectations for this. You know, this is just a little, you know, thing where it's like, oh, like coincidentally, Barbidi's men were there. They weren't actually seeking Goku, whereas Goku at the time did think, oh, everyone's trying to, you know, find me and fight me, and threaten the world in the process. Whereas, you know, only like a few enemies did that. I think the only exceptions you can really give is Cell and Barbity. You know, in Z, like in Z alone, like those are like the only two exceptions for like threats coming after Goku, was just Cell and Barbity, because Barbity didn't know who the fuck Goku was, and Cell was just I think he didn't really give a shit. He just wanted the androids. That's it. So yeah, my little thing, like, don't get all antsy about it. That's just that, you know. I'm a fucking Dragon Ball nerd. Leave me alone.
Goku jumps on Shenron and he leaves, and that's where his character arc comes to a close. Goku realizes that, you know what, I might like fighting, but I don't want to put people in danger anymore. I don't want to put people at risk anymore because it threatens everybody else's existence, just me being here. Kind of like what Vision said in Avengers.
In the 8 years since Mr. Stark announced himself as Iron Man, the number of known enhanced persons has grown exponentially. And during the same period, the number of potentially world-ending events has risen at a commensurate rate. I'm saying there may be a causality. Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict. And conflict breeds catastrophe.
That scene that Vision speaks upon is so relatable to the character of Goku. Now in Dragon Ball Super, we see a very, very different Goku, who I swear is just a completely different character. In Dragon Ball Super,
Yeah, as I said before, like Goku in Super is a very different character. Like, instead of like saying, oh, they character assassinated Goku, they basically reset Goku to a point where it was like, you can't say this Goku is the same as Z Goku because he does not display any traits relating to Z. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like, that's why I split it into like different timelines and shit, basically, because it's like, oh, we all have the elements of Z and shit, you know, like, oh, you know, there's Frieza, Cell, and all like Trunks came and shit, you know, blah blah blah, you know, all that shit. But to say this is the same continuation of Z Goku is a flat out fallacy, because Super Goku displays none of the characteristics Z Goku does. Like, I would make a list about like the differences between Z and Super Goku alone, and I actually don't know why, but I looked at my screen. I looked at my screen. I thought he was doing the finger there for a second. I was like, I saw it and I'm like, hold up, is he? Oh, no, that's when he teleports. Oh, that would be an amazing screenshot. I had like a whole double take, like, look at my time bar and then look at him like, oh, hold up, what's he doing? Yeah. Even Goku Black was like, is he doing the finger? Oh my god, I can't believe I just did not see that. It's still there. It's like, you have to stare at it. Otherwise, if you look away for a second, it looks like he's giving you the finger. Oh, yeah. My point still stands. Moving on.
Super has no problem getting into fights with people. He has no problem getting stronger or trying to challenge stronger people. Heck, he even put all of the multiverse in danger just so he can fight strong people. There would not be a tournament of power if Goku did not have such a thirst for battle. Now,
okay, so do you guys think Goku in Super is selfish? Because, like, oh, you know, Goku, pure of heart, he thinks about others and shit. Super Goku doesn't really display that much. Like, sure, he'll think of, like, his family and shit, you know, sometimes, you know, but most of the time, he's like, oh, I want to fight strong opponents. You know, I need to get stronger and stronger, where like, it goes from, like, you hear enough, like, oh, Goku's pure of heart and shit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but the way Super Goku goes about it, it's more, like, leaning to being selfish, to be honest. I think Vegeta might be arrogant and prideful, but I think Super Vegeta is... Like, I know I said Super Vegeta is, like, you know, he got the reset treatment too, but Super Vegeta is less selfish than Goku, to be honest. And that's a fact. Like, Super Goku, all he does in the fucking whole show, like, literally, 90% of the time, it's just, I want to get stronger / I need to fight stronger opponents and shit. Whereas, like, Vegeta and that, Vegeta is actually thinking of others. Like, say, in the Goku Black Saga, instead of fighting for himself in that, he actually starts fighting for Trunks and Trunks as well. Though, I think the English dub is just like, no, bro, I gotta fucking beat Goku Black, so it's kind of like beating you. Whereas the sub version is like, oh, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for Trunks and his world. And Goku Black kind of gives him like an insult. But they're like, oh, that's pretty fucking selfish of you or something, isn't it, mortal? And Vegeta just proceeds to beat the shit out of him and that. Like, Super Vegeta is way better of a character than Super Goku. Like, Super Goku, full selfish and shit and that. Vegeta might be prideful, might be arrogant as fuck, might be a cocky, snarky dickhead and shit, but he thinks more of others than just himself in most cases in the show. Like, yeah, I said, like, GT Vegeta was just like, oh, I fight for the planet, whereas, you know, Super Vegeta was just like, oh no, I'm thinking of my family and shit, but not the whole Earth. Sure, but, like, he got the reset button, so I'll let that whole planet shit slide because, you know, like, the whole point is that Goku is selfish, but Vegeta isn't in Super. Like, but in Z, it's like the opposite. Goku thinks of others, and Vegeta only thinks of himself. Until you get mainly to the Buu Saga, where Vegeta kind of starts thinking of others. I mean, Vegeta near the end of the Buu Saga was like, oh, we need everyone in the universe, we need everyone from Earth to lend Goku their energy and shit. That's the only way we can do it. Like, that's a good fucking, like, character arc for Vegeta right there. That's a good character moment. And Super has better character moments for Super Vegeta than Super Goku, which is, it's saying something as someone who has watched, like, all of Dragon Ball and shit.
it is true that Saiyans love to fight. Yes, Saiyans love to fight so they can get stronger so they can face the next challenge and keep growing and growing and growing. That is very true to the Saiyan character. That is very true to the Saiyan heritage. However, Goku in Z went against that grain because he knew what kind of danger he would bring. And in GT, they expanded upon that even further. For as much hate as GT gets, it does get the character of Goku right.
That is a fact. GT gets Goku right. Now, probably people like, oh, well, how does he get him right and shit? As I said before, like, Z has the character arcs. Like, okay, so Z is the character arcs. GT is after the character arcs, right? So GT is a more perfect presentation of Z and perfect continuation of Z than Super is. Like, that's what I mean by, like, you know, it's a more perfect continuation than Super, whereas it keeps the character's core values and fundamentals there while also expanding on it. Like, that is awesome shit. Like, no matter how many people hate GT, GT will always fundamentally be better in terms of characters. Because I see a lot of people fucking hating on Super, like the whole jokes, like, I guess you can call it a meme at this point, where it's like, oh, GT Goku, he has the body of a child and the mind of an adult. Super Goku has the mind of a child and the body of an adult. And I'm like, yeah, that is true. GT Goku is still his, like, basically his, like, Z self, basically. Super Goku isn't. Super Goku got a whole character reset. Like, everything just wiped from that motherfucker. Nothing to even represent single thing from Z. Other than just flashbacks to, oh, I remember Frieza. I know who that is. It's like, okay, but, you know, do you have any personality, like, character traits and shit? Like, GT Goku, like, GT in fundamentally will always be the better continuation. I would defend that shit.
Specifically toward the end of the saga.
And more importantly, I'm better than you.
Now, Dragon Ball Super, we even see in the newest Broly movie, all Goku cares about is fighting stronger people. He has no problem if anybody gets hurt. He doesn't give a damn. Goku just willingly jumps into every single situation to pick up a fight. Knowing that there could be consequences, he doesn't care. Future Trunks' timeline gets erased, Goku doesn't care. Goku had the power to defeat.
To be honest, Goku actually did not give a shit that Trunks' timeline got erased. Like, if you really think about it, Goku did not give the slightest fuck that Trunks' home was completely erased. Like, he was like, yo, can we go back? I need to do something. And then he went out to the fucking void of nothing to future Zeno, grabbed him, yeeted him back to the fucking present, and then was just like, hey, present Zeno, I got a friend for you, it's your future self. Like, he did not give a shit that Trunks' timeline was actually right. He didn't feel any fucking type of remorse. I think, like, when Whis brought up the fact, it's like, oh, you know, for Trunks, I can send you to another universe where, you know, everything was alright and shit, but unfortunately there will be two versions of you and Mai, and Trunks is just like, you can do that, and Goku's just like, oh, cool. Like, wow, Goku, wow, you got this motherfucker's whole fucking timeline erased, you know? Like, you got, like, your future self erased from existence. Like, there is no fucking afterlife anymore for future Trunks' timelines. There's no afterlife, there's nothing. Just a void, an empty space of a timeline. Everything there just been wiped from existence. Or because Goku was just like, oh, I don't know actually how to finish a fight because I just want to fight strong opponents. Like, yeah, we got Goku Black Rose and shit, that's cool and all, but if Z Goku accidentally let it get to that fucking point, he would have just gone full out and be like, this dude is an actual fucking threat, and I don't give a shit what you say, Vegeta, you will fucking help me taking this dude down. Like, Like, do you guys remember when Vegeta was so fucking prideful of himself, and Majin, like, Super Buru Gohan was like the most threatening, like, being in existence and shit, and Goku flat out was just telling Vegeta, like, bruh, we're the only two who can stop this motherfucker. Like, he has killed everyone, even Bulma, and that kind of snapped Vegeta out of it. And it's like, well, you couldn't do that again? Like, if the circumstances arise and shit, like with Fusamasu and shit, Vegeta should stop being, like, they should stop making Vegeta just this. I know it's a part of his character, but they shouldn't make him overtly cocky, where he's like, I don't want to fuse with you, you know how I feel about fusing with you. It's like, bro, if you do not fuse, everyone is going to die. Like, this isn't about pride or fucking ego. And Vegeta should understand that. Like, he knew, like, how powerful Super Buu was, and he was willing to fuse with Goku after Goku gave him just the flat out hardest fucking speech in Dragon Ball. And, you know, I like that for Vegeta. He's just like, it's like, oh wow, everyone I know and love is dead and shit. Fuck it, give me the earring right now. Like, and then they proceeded to beat the shit out of Buu and fucking humiliate him and that. You know, I actually put up a thing in a short about Vegeta where it's like, sure, Vegeta, you can tell me, like, yeah, Vegeta's whole plan was to get absorbed, but you cannot tell me that throughout this entire, like, episode, well, not episode, well, the episodes, where Vegeta is fighting Buu, like, you cannot tell me that Vegeta is so pissed off with what Buu did, he is actively humiliating him. Like, deep down, like, Vegeta just wanted Buu to suffer in that. It wasn't just a game, like, he was actually being serious about it. It was both, like, the Goku and Vegeta side just working in tandem. It's like, yeah, we want you to fucking suffer first. And then we can, you know, piss you off enough to absorb us. Which in turn worked. I mean, but I'm gonna stick to that. You know, Vegeta actively wanted Buu to suffer for a bit. So, yeah. Continuing on with the video.
Beat Goku Black when he first saw him, before Goku Black even got Rose. Even Trunks questioned why isn't Goku using his true power to finish him. And Vegeta said something along the lines of Goku likes to test out his opponents and gauge them or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly, I'm gonna have it up on the screen here. And Trunks was puzzled because you see Trunks is coming from a timeline where he just lost his mom. He already has nobody else. He has nobody beside the mind. Goku could immediately end all the pain and suffering for the future saga in one fatal move. Super Saiyan 3, Kamehameha, Goku Black's done. But what does Goku do? He does not do that. He continues to fight Goku Black, lets Goku Black get stronger. Goku Black goes to the new timeline, gets Super Saiyan Rose. Goku tries to fight him again, loses, and it's just rinse and repeat. Knowing what kind of struggle future Trunks is going through, Goku still put his own Saiyan fighting spirit in front of everything that future Trunks suffered through, just so he can get a good fight. And as I said before, it's like I'm talking about two different people here. The way I describe this, you wouldn't think that this is the same character. On one hand, we have one character who was actually wished back as a kid, who now has his whole entire life ahead of him, yet again, to do the same things as Super Goku. But you know what he decides? No, I think it's better for me to leave because I don't want to put y'all in danger anymore. Vegeta could protect the Earth, Gohan could protect the Earth, but as long as I'm here, there's always going to be somebody that steps up to fight. And you go to Super, and Goku's just, hey, you want to fight? 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 That's Goku's whole mojo. That's his whole motto. That's what he lives by. He just wants to fight strong people just cause.
Yeah, that's a good way to sum it up for, like, the difference between GT and Super Goku. GT Goku, it's like, you know, I still want to fucking leave peacefully and shit and keep the Earth safe. Super Goku, I want to fight. Hey, you want to fight? Let's fight. I want to fight. I want to be the strongest in fucking multiverse and shit now.
Just for the thrill of it. And this is why Dragon Ball GT Goku is far better of a character than Dragon Ball Super Goku. This video was relatively short. I will have my friend come on here one day and we're going to discuss it together so he can share some of his insight with you guys. But You can't tell me that Dragon Ball Super Goku is a better character than Dragon Ball GT Goku. You just can't. So if you guys disagree, let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about GT Goku, and let me know what you think about Dragon Ball Super Goku. Those are my thoughts on the videos, guys. So make sure you guys leave a like, hit that subscribe button, don't forget to share that video. We're on that road to 1,000 subscribers. So that's all I got.
Oh, what the fuck? Ugh. Fucking ads. Yeah, I think that was a good video on that. You guys should definitely check out this dude's channel. I mean, you got...
Welcome to a new episode.
Go away, ad. You got, like, other videos and that from him and that, which I would recommend. This dude does a lot of good videos and that. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed that, I will end it here and that. So, goodbye.